Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something really interesting. A super passionate 5-star review.
Oh, yeah. What's it for?
It's for Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. You know, the third book in the Empyrean series. Fantasy, romance, action. Yeah, it's got it all.
Ah, okay. The
Yep.
Empyrean. Got it.
So our mission, basically, is to figure out why this reviewer is calling it, and I quote, an emotional, high-stakes storm you'll never forget.
Wow. Okay.
And even a masterclass in fantasy storytelling. What's going on there?
Well, it sounds like the review dives right in. It mentions the book picks up after the emotional wreckage of Iron Flame, the previous one.
Right, that ending was rough.
Totally. And the review uses this amazing phrase. It says, Onyx Storm throws them into the sky and lets them burn.
Whoa.
Yeah, it suggests things get way more intense, like serious escalation.
Okay, so right away it promises this huge impact. The review says it's the kind of book that grips you from the first page, rips your heart out.
Rips your heart out. Okay.
And somehow makes you thankful for the pain. I mean, that's quite something, isn't it?
Thankful for the pain. That signals some deep emotional payoff, like real catharsis.
And it still hits those core series elements, right? The review promises dragons, danger, deep love. No spoilers, just the good stuff.
Yeah, and speaking of that love aspect, the review really digs into Violet and Xaden's relationship, says it's more complicated, raw, and intense than ever.
More intense than before, really.
Apparently, like if you thought their chemistry peaked, think again, the reviewer says. It credits Yarros' writing style, how she blends, emotional intimacy with cinematic action.
Okay, so it's not just fights, it's personal.
Exactly. It makes you feel everything. The tension, the heat of battle, even that ache of longing. It sounds incredibly immersive.
That blend sounds powerful. And the review brings up realism, too, particularly war that feels real.
Mm-hmm.
It mentions Rebecca Yarros' military background, adding real depth, to the brutal realities of war, betrayal, and survival.
Right, and that background makes a huge difference. It brings in authenticity, maybe, to the strategy, the psychological cost, stuff that makes it feel less like just, fantasy battles.
Yeah, less abstract.
And that realism ties straight into the characters, especially Violet. The review says she's not the same girl from Fourth Wing.
How so?
Well, she's apparently stronger, sharper, and more broken, but never defeated. It emphasizes her resilience. Like, the trauma shapes her, makes her evolve, but doesn't actually break her. It sounds like really satisfying character growth.
Stronger, sharper, more broken, but not defeated. I like that. Okay, but then there are the plot twists. The review warns they will break you, leading to sleepless nights and gasps out loud. We've all had those books, right?
Oh, definitely. The ones that just wreck your sleep schedule.
Exactly. And the writing itself, described as smooth, fast-paced, and heartbreakingly honest. What does that heartbreakingly honest part suggest to you?
Heartbreakingly honest probably means the story doesn't pull punches, like the consequences, the character reactions, the tough choices they feel earned, real, even with dragons flying around. It's not just shock value, it's emotional weight.
Gotcha. So it sounds amazing, but the review does mention sort of possible downsides.
Ah, okay. Like what?
Well, mostly things framed positively by the reviewer.
Yeah.
Like, you absolutely have to read Fourth Wing and Iron Flame first, which, makes sense for a series.
Sure, that's standard. Not really a downside if you're invested.
Right. And it also says some moments might be emotionally overwhelming, but then clarifies in the best way. Yeah. So intense, but rewarding.
Sounds like it. The kind of intensity that makes the story stick with you. Oh, and did it mention the wait for the next book?
Yes. The reviewer calls that torture, which I think many fans would agree with.
The classic cliffhanger pain.
Exactly. So wrapping it all up, the final verdict from this review is pretty glowing. Onyx Storm is a masterclass in fantasy storytelling full of heart, heat, and heroic stakes. It's not just a book. It's an experience.
That really sums it up. And it clarifies who it's for, right? The review says, if you love dragons, romance, complex characters, and brutal honesty, this is the storm you want to get caught in.
A direct invitation, basically.
Yeah, for readers looking for that deep emotional connection alongside the fantasy elements.
And it ends with this really powerful line. If pain is the price of love, I'll pay it again and again for a story this fierce.
Oof, that's potent.
It really is.
Yeah.
So it makes you think, doesn't it? For you listening, what stories, what experiences out there are so fierce, so impactful, you'd willingly, pay that price of love to dive into them?
Yeah. Something to definitely mull over.
Definitely. Well, that's our deep dive for today. We'll catch you next time.